It's time to take 10 minutes for Torah with Rabbi Joel Finkelstein.
Welcome to our discussion of Parashat Shemini, turning to others. Look in Parashat Shemini, they have this wonderful 8-day commemoration, 8-day dedication of the Holy Temple, the Mishkan of the Tabernacle, and it's wonderful. So they bring all the different things they're supposed to bring, slaughter all the animals they're supposed to do, they wave all the things they're supposed to wave. Kasher tzivah Moshe, just like Moshe commanded. Then what happens? Vayisa Aaron yadav el ha'am vayvarchem. Aaron lifts his hands to the people and he blesses them. Did he give them birchas kohanim, the priestly blessings we do every Shabbos, every Yontif, every day, like Rashi says, or like Ramban, that gave them the different types of blessings that one might give. Now, then Vayer Masorah Chatav Ve'olav Hashlemim. He gave the blessings as he came down from doing all the different types of offerings, the inaugural offerings. Then Vayavo Moshe ve'Aaron. Now, not just Aaron, but Moshe and Aaron come to Ohel Moed, to the tent of meeting. Vayetzu, and then they went out of the tent. Vayirachu et ha'am, and they too blessed the people. What blessings they give, whatever it is. Vayirach v'Hashem kol ha'am. And then God appeared to everyone. What I'd like to point out is that there's a notion that after the service, after it's an avoda in the Beis Hamikdash, it's official offering in the Beis Hamikdash, then you did the birchas kohanim, the priestly blessings, or whether today, when we do our avoda, our worship of God, which is the silent devotion, the communal devotion, and then also we do the birkat kohanim. Outside of Israel, Ashkenazi Jews, we do it only on various yontovs, all the different yontovs, we do the blessings. Sephardic Jews, people in Israel, they do it every single day. But when is it? At the end. At the end of the davening, that's when we do the birkat kohanim. In years past, I talked about this, whether in Parashat Naso or the Shemini, and the notion of that after asking God for a laundry list of things, 13 different things, during our Amidah every day, we then turn to God and say, oh yeah, by the way, just one thing. Can you give me a blessing? Give me a blessing. So that's one idea, is that the Birkat Kohanim is another opportunity to pray for things. When you bring a sacrifice, you're also, if it's a sin offering, you're praying for atonement for sins. If it's a shlamim, it's a celebratory thanksgiving type of offering. If it's a miluim, you're dedicating a new temple, you're praying that God will rest there. So every sacrifice is a type of prayer. After that prayer, then you bless the Jews that there should be more blessings. That's how we looked at it in the past. Now I'd like to suggest something else. That whenever there's a hitgalut, whenever there is a moving, stirring service that a person does at coming close to God, which eventually leads to Vayirach v'od Hashem kol ha'am, that the divine presence came to all the nation, whenever there's such an occasion, you don't just use it to say, oh, this is great, nirvana, we're getting close with God, this is wonderful, and we close our eyes and we commune with God. No. After you do that, Vayetzu, you go outside and you bless everybody else. Turn your inspiration to a blessing for others. Take the Kohen Gadol on Yom Kippur, the high priest in Yom Kippur. Two things. Number one, when he went into that Holy of Holies, he could have said, oh, close his eyes and have this mystical union with God. No. He prayed that they should have enough rain that year. Basically, people should make a living. People shouldn't starve that year. People shouldn't have earthquakes and die in their homes. That's what you pray. So he turned his attention in that greatest moment of hitalut, the greatest moment of oneness with God, turned his attention to the people. And then, secondly, what does the Kohen Gadol, what does the high priest do on Yom Kippur? He makes a yontif vayoseh latzmo. He made a yontif. Everyone came to his house, and they maybe they had l'chaim, maybe they had some cake, and they celebrated that he ziyatza b'shalom, and he came out in peace, that he was able to atone for the Jewish people, that he brought atonement for the Jewish people. I mean, after Shabbos they would have the cake, but he made a yontif. He made a great celebration. So the Kohen Gadol, on having this ultimate moment of union with God in the Holy of Holies, something only he can do, and only on Yom Kippur. After that, what does he do? Prays for the Jews, turns his attention to the Jews, and he yontif vayoseh, made a yontif for himself and for everybody. In the Gemara, it was in Shabbos, where they talk about the Rav Shimon Bar Yochai, the great mystic who we celebrate during the Lag Bomer, coming up soon, and his son, the son of Rabbi Elazar, Rabbi Shimon. They were in that cave for many years. When they came out, there were two approaches. One was, who needs anybody else? What are these people doing? What crazy people? They're not learning. What's wrong with these people? Then God says, go back in your cave. And they come out a second time, and they appreciate that here's a fellow. He's running. He said, what are you running? He's got two hadassim. He's got two branches. And he said, what are you doing? He says, well, I've got to bring for Shabbos. I've got two branches, one for Zachor and one for Shamar, the two aspects of Shabbos. I'm celebrating. Now, really, this is kind of forgive me, a dumb idea. I mean, it doesn't say in the Torah you have to have two branches, two myrtles every Shabbos. But this fellow is trying his best. He's trying to remember the Shabbos, the two aspects of Shabbos, and he's taking it, and he's going there. To this day, women light two candles. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't say anywhere in the Torah and the Talmud you have to have two candles. But it's a beautiful thing. We celebrate. You turn after being in the cave, communing with God, communing with the Torah. You know what you do? You come out and you look at the people, and you turn to the people, and you say, wow, look at these people. They may not be studying Talmud like I am, but look at them. It's so wonderful. This one's doing this. He's trying to do a little Shabbos. He's trying to do a little. It's wonderful. Reb Shimon Valhur says, Habia vayitzia echinas habracha. It was going in and coming out of the tent of meeting, the Olam Moed. That's what prepared him to give a bracha. That's where he was ready to give a bracha. After you had that service, after you daven Shemona Esrei, now you're ready. The Kohanim are ready to give a blessing to everybody else. I want to sort of flip it. The Ari says, before you daven, you should think, before you daven, you should unite all the Jews together and say, look, I love all the Jews, praying for everybody. But let's flip it around. After you do your service, then you should turn your attention to people. You go to work, as it says in Shulchan Aruch, you finish davening, you go to work, you turn your attention to others, helping, being part of society. After davening, you turn to your neighbor. After being quiet during davening, now you turn, you wish good Shabbos, now you wish Shalom Aleichem, how you doing? What's going on? How's your family? You talk, you go to the Kiddush, you celebrate, you talk about things together. After having a spiritual experience, turn to others. Look at the Kabbalah Torah. When they got the Torah, what happened? You think, oh, now we got the Torah. We're all gonna close our eyes and we're gonna raise our hands and we're gonna get closer with God. No. After the Ten Commandments were given, Hashem says, these are the laws that you have to put in front of the people. These are all the laws. These are the laws of damages and torts and ways to behave. How do you treat a widow and an orphan? This, we turn our attention after we say, I'm Lord your God. Turn your attention to others. Honor your father and mother. Don't hurt anybody. The mishpatim, these are the laws of civil and civic behavior. The Rayon the Rav Shimon Valhur says the idea of that the inspiration that you get from the revelation of God, that should express itself in the blessing that one Jew blesses another. And that's what it means. It's when in Parshas Naso, if one Jew blesses another, I'll bless the Jews. I want to see the Jews blessing each other. You do that, the Kohanim bless the Jews, then and only then Hashem says yes. Then Ani Avarchem, then I will bless the Jews as well. Notice this time of year, what are we doing? We're getting ready for Kabbalah Torah. As Iran says and the Medrash says, that we're counting down, we're getting ready to count toward receiving the Torah. And it's also a time when we say, no, we can't celebrate. It should be Chol HaMoed, Ramban says. It should be a wonderful time where between Pesach and Shavuot, it's like Chol HaMoed. It's like in the middle of this huge 7-week holiday. It's wonderful. We're getting ready to receive the Torah. Thank God we've got rain, we've got crops. The good stuff is going on. We're celebrating the different harvests that God has blessed us with. But no, we can't celebrate. We're unshaven. We're not taking haircuts. We're not getting married because the Lo Nagu Kavod, the 12,000 pairs of students of Rabbi Akiva, they didn't give honor one to another. In other words, they learned Torah. They reached the highest level of learning Torah, the great sage Rabbi Akiva. And they didn't turn to each other. They didn't give honor one to another. that ruins the whole sphere. The whole idea of counting is to improve our character. The Kinyan Torah, to acquire Torah. Part of Torah is to give kavod zelazeh, to give honor one to another. When you have the galut, when you have the learning of a Shem Bar Yochai, when you have the learning of a Rabbi Kiva, the goal is to then turn to the other. The goal is to then give honor one to another. I learned Torah, but you have something to teach me about how to honor Shabbos. I learned Torah, you learn more Torah. I learned Torah, but you're really good at davening. You're really good at chesed. You're really good at kindness. You're really good at your Jewish identity. We have to have humility. We have to turn to others. This parsha teaches us that this greatest moment when the Jews, after preparing for who knows how long, to get that Mishkan ready, putting the efforts of all the Jewish people, men, women, children, to give all their efforts to make this beautiful Mishkan, and they have a divine revelation. Aaron and Moshe as well. They turn to the people and they say, let me just teach you one lesson forevermore. When you have a spiritual experience, don't leave it between you and God. That's the moment where vayitzu vayavrachutam. That's when you go out to the people and you said, I've been inspired by God. I want to bring that blessing to everyone else. When God sees that one Jew blesses another, God willing, Bani Avarchem, He will bless all of us. We wish everyone a great Shabbos, and we thank Jason Lefkowitz, our producer, and thanks to everyone for joining us. Thank you.
This has been 10 Minutes for Torah with Rabbi Joel Finkelstein.